Hello? Oh, there it is. Like my microphone's not working. That won't do. Good evening, my friends, now that my microphone is working. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Tonight, this was one of my favorite kits that I picked out. It is going to be beautiful. So let's talk about what goes in your kit and the supplies that you may need. Okay? So in your kit, you're going to get an oval board. You're going to get this welcome sign. You're going to get this moss-colored pre-cut mesh. It's moss-colored. All right. And then you're going to get this beautimous lattice work ribbon that matches. Open. Whoa! That was pretty good. Oopsie. And then to complement that, we're not going to try to pop that open again. To complement that, we're going to have this beautiful Swiss dot lace ribbon. Isn't that going to be beautiful, y'all? Look at that. Look at that. That's going to be beautiful. Okay? And then, for florals, we have the, we're going to start calling these what they are because they're just slightly different. They're the FH picks. FH. Okay? That way we know with the blue flowers. Now, if you go shopping for this kit tonight, there are some really pretty yellow and blue roses that you can get to go along with this. Okay? Also with your kit, you're going to get some blue Chanel stems. All right. And then you will get a measuring tape and you will get cable tie mounts. Okay. Now, what it appears is that we have some cable tie mounts with the sticky and some without the sticky. All right. FH is the beginning of the SKU number on that pick. That's all that means. All right. Now, in addition to what comes in the kit, supplies that you might need, well, you will need, you know, a pair of scissors to cut your ribbon. I would recommend a pair of wire cutters for cutting your florals. And then you're going to need a glue gun. Okay? And that glue gun is going to help attach the florals. Because even if you use zip ties or pipe cleaners, you need a little help with the florals to keep them from moving around. And that's where the glue gun comes in. All right. So let's get started. Let's get this party started, my friends. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to start by loading our board. And we are going to need 20 pipe cleaners to do that. And I'm going to show you the easy way to do this. There's 25 pipe cleaners in here, so we're just going to count out 5 and then grab the rest out. How about that, y'all? And then that'll be our 20. Aren't they all shiny and new? All right, so what I like to do, it just makes loading the pipe cleaners easier in the board, is I take about 4 of them, fold them in half, and I use my finger. I'm not gonna, if you crimp them down, y'all, it makes, I'll show you. I'm just gonna show you. We're gonna show you. If you fold it in half, and then you go too far, it makes it difficult. It's not open to go in the board the way that I like, so you don't want to fold it in half. Like that, you just kind of want to make a U shape. All right, so that's what I'm doing. So I put my finger in the middle to basically stop it, but give it a little crimp. So I even them up, put my finger and just, and that gives it that little crimp, and then it'll just go right into the holes as you load the board. All right. Little trick for loading pipe cleaners. Maybe next time Lori goes live, she'll show me y'all's trick for loading zip ties, because I definitely need that trick. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and use the holes on row 1 and, well, there's only 2 rows, so it says. We're going to use these 2 sets of holes, and we're going to go every other on the outside. Actually, no, we're not. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Take that back. All right. So now that we loaded our pipe cleaners on the outside, we're going to load them on the inside, and we're going to go right here, and we're just going to use that one hole and go every other again. Notice how I'm holding my board up while I do this. Makes it so much easier to levitate it and put the pipe cleaner in. Now, to keep the pipe cleaners from coming out, all right, what you're going to do is you're just going to do a very quick flip and let your board hit your table. Okay? Quick flip. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, flip, and hit the table. That's going to keep your pipe cleaners from coming out. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Now, for our pipe cleaners this time, we're going to do something a little bit different tying our pipe cleaners, and I'm going to explain why. We don't need this to be a wide wreath, so we want to bring it in a little bit, okay, because our sign is narrow, so we don't need all the floofiness to come out. So what we're going to do to kind of narrow it down a little bit is we're going to aim to tie our pipe cleaner over the second hole, this hole right here. Okay, let me zoom in so y'all can get a better look at what I'm doing as far as tying the pipe cleaners. Zoomy, zoomy, come here. Come on. All right, we're gonna go over this hole with our, and tie it. So what you're gonna want to do Bring your pipe cleaners, lay them down. I'm picky, I can't help it, even them up. And then as you lay them down, pull this pipe cleaner up in this hole, and then you're just going to twist around. And that's going to keep your pipe cleaner nice and tight. Okay? So let me show you again. Pull your pipe cleaners toward the inside. Okay? The pipe cleaner that is in this hole, stand it up. And this one, you're just going to swing around, and that's going to make your pipe cleaners all nice and tight. Everybody with me? Do I need to show you again? Are my hands in the way too much? Let me know. I'm trying to pull my hands back out of the way so that y'all could see better. But for a lady, I kind of got, you know, I'm kind of got some big hands. If at any point in time you don't understand what I'm doing or I need to do it again, I'm watching the comments. Please let me know. I'll be more than happy to go back and show you again. Everybody with me so far? All right. Now what we want to do, we're going to kind of pull these out of the way on the outside so y'all can see. Now keep in mind as you do this, I go slower so y'all can watch what I'm doing. This actually goes pretty fast. Okay, so for the outside, we're going to do pretty much so the same. Okay, except for this time we're going to lay this pipe cleaner down and bring this one up. Well, about the same as swinging around because we want our pipe cleaner more toward the outside. Okay, we don't want it off our board though, but we want it more to the outside. But laying your pipe cleaners down to the board and then swinging one around will make them tighter, y'all, and you're not going to have to put in that much effort to tightening them up. It's not going to take much hand strength, okay? Like I said, this is going to bring more of the mesh toward the inside of the board. Hello, Miss Lori Franklin. All right, so here we go. So our mesh is already cut for us. Yay! You gotta love some pre-cut mesh, right? So the pre-cut nut mesh is nice. For those of you that are new to Unique at the Creek, it eliminates you having to need or cut the mesh, so it kind of makes it more enjoyable, so you can focus on, more of the mechanics of making your wreath. But what I typically do is I go around and I open up my pipe cleaners and the outside first to get them ready for my ruffles. All right. Now, to ruffle, my friends, yes, this is pre-cut mesh. However, when you do this, and we're going to do 2 pieces at a time, Okay? Make sure that the factory edge, okay? Can you see this well enough? This is the factory edge. This is the cut edge. Factory edge, cut edge. Okay? You want to make sure that your cut edge is on the outside and you're ruffling up the center. All right? Everybody got that so far? Take your 2 pieces of mesh, line them up. Okay? That way when you start to ruffle at the bottom, you're just going to go straight up like it's 1 piece of mesh. Okay, so on the outside, we're going to use 2 pieces of mesh. Here we go. Ruffle, 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 ruffle. And we're just going to move right on to our next piece of mesh. Ruffle, 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 ruffle. Just like so. Okay. Now we're going to take and put that in our pipe cleaner. And I'm going to show you my trick to getting these pipe cleaners nice and tight. Okay. What you want to do is you want to take your thumb, and push down on your mesh. And I'm kind of doing it in one motion because I've been doing this for a long time. But I'm pushing down on my mesh and twisting my pipe cleaner at the same time. And then that way my mesh is in my board as tight as possible. All right, one more time with that. Line up your 2 pieces of mesh. Make sure the factory edge is on the outside. All right. And then we're going to, and let me tell you all something, okay? So if you kind of wondering, there's actually a center to this, and you can see it. For those of you that have, I love striped mesh. I love this stuff because it lets beginners see that the middle. So here we go. We got outside, and then as you go in, right here is the center. This right here in between these 2 lines is the center. So if you keep your eye on that as you ruffle, you know you're going straight down the center even when you go to pick up the second piece. Okay? And that's where I place my thumbs. I place my thumbs directly over those 2 lines, and then I pull with my fingers and make my pinch on those 2 lines. Okay, so those of you that are having a hard time doing ruffling, there's your new trick. When I first started making wreaths, I bought a lot of striped mesh because it made ruffling easier. Okay? Anybody need to see that again? Because if you don't, I will rock and roll on and get the mesh on this base. I'll also zoom out. All right, here we go. We're going to rock and roll now. Elaine, this is flat mesh. It's pre-cut. There is no curve. I don't know why I went this way. I ruffle normally this way. I guess I'm stuck going this way now. That's okay. I'm going to have a lot of leftover mesh. I see a flower in my future. But there's also other things you can do with leftover mesh, just saying. Lori, my dog, learned how to howl today, and she's like 7 years old. That was quite interesting. She sounded like Copper on Lady and the Tramp. Not Lady and the Tramp, Fox and the Hound, sorry. And it was completely unnecessary. Like, why? Well, okay, so my daughter is doing a, she wants to be a veterinarian, so she's shadowing a vet tech. So my daughter's out and about doing that, a mobile vet tech. So my daughter's out about doing that, and apparently my dogs are having separation anxiety. Meltdown from Tiffany. So there we go. I got to suffer. All right, last one on the outside. All right, now we're going to the inside, and biggest reason we're going to the inside is for fullness, especially because our sign is narrow. So let me show you. I have found in life understanding the who's, the what's, and makes it easier to design. So because our sign is narrow, we need the mesh on the inside to provide support. All right. But we just need one piece of mesh because the ties on the inside are closer together. All right. And we're just going to ruffle that up and then put one in each tie. And I'm going to go the right way for me this time. I love this sign, y'all. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, immediately, yes, that has to be a kit this year. Has Tina Kelly came in yet and I just don't know it? Now, if you want your wreath base to be thicker, a whole lot thicker, you can double up on the inside and that will use up all your mesh. But for me, it's kind of like all the leftovers, I will use them. Woot woot! I just think that this is a awesome wreath for spring and summer. I love blue and yellow together. It almost makes me want to decorate a room in my house in those colors. That would make my daughter happy. She loves blue. She saw this kit and she got excited. All right, my friends, now that we have that part done, see, beautiful. All right, now we're going to cut our ribbon. Now, there is a very nice tool when you buy your kit. You can get one of these too, and this is called the Measure Buddy. You can get it at uniqueinthecreek.com. All right, and we're going to cut our ribbon tails 14 inches. Okay, for those of you that are new, this bend piece, we're going to snip that little bit off first. Okay, and then you don't have to have a fancy cutting mat like me. Okay, because in your kit, just a reminder, you will get this measuring tape that I should be able to open by now. And you can just take this measuring tape, y'all. You don't have to unpeel the whole thing. Let me show you a little tip if you're afraid it's going to stick to your table. Peel back just a little bit. Okay? For those of you that are afraid that this is going to stick to your table, peel it back just a little bit. And then press that side down. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. We're going to peel this back just a little bit. Okay. And then we're just going to press that side down. But I'm going to smooth it along the way to make sure it's nice and even. Whoops. That was my fault. I pulled too hard. Okay. And then you have your tape measure to measure your ribbon. Okay. And then we're just going to measure our ribbon 14 inches. Like so. All right. The faster way, because y'all don't want to sit here and watch me cut piece by piece. Using the measure buddy, we're going to cut I'm going to cut 9 more pieces, and it's going to go by really fast. When you take it off the measure buddy, slide your measure buddy out. I just take my 2 thumbs, keep my ribbon from, and push my measure buddy out, and then kind of press down, and then cut. All right. And then, ta-da! Okay. Let me get my little garbage can here. Okay. To dovetail, make your ribbon ends pretty. Fold them in. Wire side facing you. Toward the left, slant toward the left. And cut. Wire side towards you. Slant toward the left with your scissors. And cut. And you get this nice little V. They call it dovetailing. Anybody new tonight? Anybody any questions so far? If you're new, welcome. All right, so now we're going to cut our laced edge Swiss dot. And we're going to cut 10 pieces of it as well. And I lost count. For those of you that don't know, one thing I can't do is count. Well, hello, Miss Rhonda. Long time no see. How are you doing? One thing I can't do, my friends, is count and talk at the same time. Counting and talking at the same time is my kryptonite. Not possible. Isn't it? I love this sign. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. For my new friends, we're going to put one of each piece of ribbon in each tie around the outside. I'm going to zoom in so you get a better look. Because people are like, Jackie, how do you get your ribbon tails? I'm going to show you. Okay? Like I said, we're going to take one of each ribbon and you line them up even to the inside. Fold them inward. Okay? Line up your ends. And then what I do is I take my finger in the center and then I scrunch it up. That's my pinch. Okay? That also makes it so my hands are free in case I mess up to open my pipe cleaner. Check that out. Okay? Then I'm going to grab my pinch and I'm going to put that down into my tie. Tight that down as tight as we can and then twist, twist, twist a couple times. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but they have what's called dimpling. The reason I call it dimpling is because like on your cheeks, it dimples down. We want to pop the dimple out. And I'm saying dimple with a D. You want to pop that dimple out and smooth your ribbon out. Okay? Smooth it out. And then we're going to aggressively pull it apart. Everybody got that? If you don't worry. We're going to do it one more time, my friends. Take your two pieces of ribbon, one of each. Line them up. Fold your ribbon in half, like so. Line your tips up. I put my finger in the center and I just scrunch it. That puts my pinch on it. And we're going to put that in our tie. And we're going to pop our dimples. And you're going all the way up to the pipe cleaner, y'all. That's where the dimple's at. Okay, going all the way up to the pipe cleaner. We're going to pop that dimple out. Round our ribbon up. And then pull it apart. All right. I'll leave the camera zoomed in for this so y'all can get a better look at what I'm doing. How about that? Now, I do recommend, now me personally, I think I would put a little contrast to this because the roses are yellow on the ribbon and they're yellow on the sign. Me personally, Lori has roses for sale. They're $1.50 each. I would get 3 of the blue ones just to put a little contrast to it so it's not all matchy, too much matchy. And the reason I would do that is because there's yellow in my ribbon, a lot of yellow, and that would pull more blue in. That would be my suggestion. You can get the yellow ones if you want to. There are some yellow. You could do both. Get some yellow roses and blue roses. I think it's easier, and I think it cuts out a lot of steps, Eva, using my finger to just pinch the ribbon down. I know, but there's not a lot of people can't do this. So if you can't bend your finger like I can, and I know some people have difficulty, you just want to put your ribbon together, fold it in half, And then you're going to have to just give it a little pinch so you know where center's at, y'all. You don't have to crisp it all the way down, but you just want to know where center is. And then all you have to do is lay your ribbon on your mat and just scrunch it up. Just like you would a ruffle, okay? And then put it in your tie. Y'all want to see another trick? I'll show y'all another trick to do with your ribbon. You ready to see this one? If you have the Easy Bow Maker. This is 14 inches. 7 plus 7 is 14. Right? Take your ribbon, put it down in here, slide it down straight. That's how I've got it. And then you're just going to twist it and make your pinch. Okay? Bring your little yellow ribbon in, aim it up, twist it to make your pinch. And what you can actually do, my friends, is sit here and do that, let go, with all your ribbon, line it up, twist it, and make your pinch. So with the Easy Bow Maker, you can get your ties ready, and if you have, like, stack them up. Like I said, if you have problems with your hands, this will probably help you out a lot. Because you may not be able to make that pinch. Then you can get them all ready. Like I'm doing here. And then that's got your pinch. Okay? And then all you have to do now is grab a set at a time and pull it off. You've already got your pinch. Pull it up, grab your pinch. I can be smart sometimes, y'all. Sometimes. Stick around. I come up with a lot of good stuff. All right. Let's zoom out. Now we're ready to actually really start designing our wreath. So for this one, I'm going to put the sign directly in the middle. Okay. I'm going to cut the rope off. I'm going to grab my staple gun. No, actually, I don't, Margaret. Okay, so if I'm doing just a ribbon wreath without any other goodies, I cut my ribbon 12 inches. There's really no reason for it to be longer than that. All right, so we're just going to take a couple pipe cleaners and staple them down. These are 1/4 inch staples that I use. And also what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop for a second. And I'm going to grab my 1 zip tie and put it on. That way I know the top from the bottom. And as some of y'all know, that 1 zip tie keeps me in good graces with Lori. Just kidding. All right, so let's put our sign on. Okay. Now I have this neat little tool that I use. Okay. But if you don't make wreaths frequently, you can just kind of battle it out to get your pipe cleaner down and through. But I'm just going to use this little tool. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull my pipe cleaner through. I'm going to go on the outside. And in this hole, when I pull it through, same thing on the bottom side. I'm going to use this hole and the outside. Okay. We're going to make sure that my sign is facing the right way. All right, so now when you mount your sign, okay, make sure it's centered, but we want to pull down till, you don't want to pull down really, really hard, okay? You don't want to just smash your mesh, but you want to pull it down far enough that there's just a little resistance. And then we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Now, this is a yarn needle. It's got a pretty big head on it. Because I'm able to put the pipe cleaner through the hole. Look, I'm able to put the pipe cleaner through a hole and then I close it. That way it's really easy to just pull through. So that's why I use the yarn needle. Okay, everybody still with me? Still with me, still with me, still with me, still with me? Okay. My friends. Here we go again. We're going to zoom in a little bit. That way y'all can see better. Let me know when y'all are tired of me zooming in. I'm just kidding. Zoom in really good so that you can see how I go about making a bow. All right. If you have a bow maker, it's actually really important which way you put your ribbon on the holder. You want to make sure that your ribbon is coming out this way. If you do it the other way, it's twisted and backwards. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one pipe cleaner and go whoop. I always like to dovetail my end first, so that's what we're going to do. Put your pinch on, okay? Right side up with the tail, and we're going to do a 180 twist, okay? And we're going to put the bad side up. And then slide it down between our pegs. Okay? Pull out a little length of ribbon and make your first loop. Now, you can take your finger and hold it on the 7 inches, whatever makes you comfortable. Use your whole hand, but be careful, y'all. You'll pull your ribbon out if you pull, so you don't want to pull. So you might want to hold your hand right here to keep yourself from pulling your ribbon out, because you don't want to do that. Okay? But I can take my finger and I just hold it on 7 inches, and then I'm going to pinch this up and twist it again. Now, some people are able to do this. I just prefer to do it the way that I do it. You can just put your ribbon in there and make your pinch, and some people take it and they'll twist it in the holder. I just like to do my pinch and twist first. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're just going to rotate our ribbon back and forth. So we started out with 7. Now we're going to do about 6.5 inch loops. So as we change colors, we're going to go down about 1/2 inch every time. Oh, I do too. This is like my favorite. With the elegance of the roses, and it just made sense to use it to me. All right, so that was 6.5, so we're going to go down to approximately 6 inches. I just kind of guess instead, you know, just go down each time. And then we're just going to finish off with our yellow on top. So I used the blue twice and the yellow twice. Crisscross our pipe cleaner through to get our ribbon off. Come on out. Squeeze your bundle together really tight. You want to make sure that this is tight as possible. Spin it, and we're going to make one more bow. We're going to grab another pipe cleaner, and this time I'm going to rock and roll through it. Anybody got any questions for me while I'm making this bow? Nobody has any questions. I guess that's a good thing. What do I do with my finished wreaths? I sell them. Pam, I'm not doing a one little loop on this bow. But when I get to the top, I'll show you real quick, which will be my next ribbon. And then I'll undo it. And that one little loop is frequently called a button loop. Kind of like putting the button on the bow, just for the record, just so you know that what that one little loop is actually called. All right. So to do the one little loop in the center, I don't have a specific bow recipe that's my favorite. I just make them however accommodates the wreath. Okay, so now that I got my 2 loops, if I was going to put a button in the center of this, okay, I would do my twist one more time. And then it's pretty simple. I'm just going to bring my ribbon back and make that little button. Here it is. And then I would cut my tie. That answer your question, Miss Pam? Once again, put the button on, do your twist, okay? And then you're just going to bring your ribbon back and decide how big you want your button loop in the center to be. And then you would just cut your tail. Both ends of the button are on the same side. Excuse me? Is it snowing there? I'd have to think that it's snowing where you're at to ask me if it's snowing where I'm at. No, I do not put the pipe cleaner through the bottom button loop. I don't. There's for me, there's no reason to, because when I fluff my ribbon, that's going to be the center. Some people do, but I don't. Okay, so here we go. Where I'm going to aim my bow for, my friends. Once again, we're going to use these holes here. These holes here. And at the top, these here. And since our bows are identical today, it doesn't matter which one I put on top or bottom. Now, once again, when you're putting your bow on, you don't want to pull it all the way down to the frame. You just want to pull it down far enough that you get resistance on your mesh. Okay, because otherwise, I'll show you real quick. If you'll watch, if you pull it all the way down to the frame, see how deep it goes? You're puckering your bow up. Okay, then all your loops and stuff will end up flying up. You don't want that. So you're just going to pull that down until you get resistance. And then before I fluff, I'm going to put my other bow up top. Mr. Blewett. I don't know where he's at. He's here somewhere, y'all. All right, my friends. Now that I made the bow, let's zoom out so we can get a better look. And we're gonna fluff our bows. Now, when we're fluffing our bows, the only thing we want to make sure of is that we're not covering our lettering. So usually what I do to make sure of that, my first 2 loops, and this is kind of my trick, my first 2 loops, my big loops on the bottom, first I pull my tails out of the way, is I pull them, and I pull them to run perpendicular to my sign. Okay? Parallel would be that way, but we want it, well, perpendicular to my sign, like so. Okay? That's going to be the base of my bow and where my ribbon goes. Like I said, I want to make sure I'm not covering my lettering and my words. So I will build my bow making sure that I don't cross that plane. Kind of. Makes sense? So we're going to pull all our loops down this time. Or our tails down. Now, this one tail in the center, I don't know why. It just makes the bow look better to me. But I do like this one tail to come up. Okay, and I will cut it accordingly. And the reason I don't cut it when I'm making the bow is it's kind of hard to tell. You don't know which tail is going to naturally come up. So that's why I don't cut it accordingly when I'm making the bow. But what I'll do it now. And make sure that it doesn't cover the words on my sign. Okay? Now let's go to the top and we're going to do the same thing over again on fluffing our bow. Pull all the tails down first. It's kind of helpful to get all your tails out of the way. That way you're just focusing on your loops and fluffing your loops. Trick is to get your tails down, hold your loop that goes with that tail and just pull it down. Don't be afraid to be aggressive, y'all. Lori, make sure that you get good ribbon that's not going to tear apart on you when you pull on it. Okay. When we put these kits together, we are picky about our quality, my friends. We don't want you to have anything that is poor quality and will come apart. Now on the top, I'm going to kind of do my ribbon just a little bit different. Okay. My ribbon tails, I'm going to pull my ribbon tails out into the side to kind of fill this area up out here. You can do the same thing on the bottom if you want to. Everybody with me so far? Any questions? All right, so this is how much of the rose ribbon I have left. And just to make sure that it's even and I have enough, I'm going to cut it in half. One for this side and one for this side, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail each end. Okay? We're going to start in the center and we're going to go under. We're going under to get pipe cleaner. Under the sign to get the pipe cleaner. In the center. Okay? And we're going to start in the middle. So we're going to fold our ribbon up like so. And then pinch it. Okay? And then we're going to go down just one more pipe cleaner, y'all. And we're doing this to kind of cover up some of this green mesh. So you're just going down one more pipe cleaner. Cleaner. And you're going on the underneath to get that pipe cleaner. And I guess we didn't need to dovetail after all. That's okay. Twisty, twisty. I didn't twisty mine tight enough. Now this side, you're going to go this side down. We're going to go 2 pipe cleaners this time. Now some of you may not want to do this step. That's okay. We're just kind of using it to cover up our mesh. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side without dovetailing this time. We're just going to fold it in half. And do the same thing on the other side. Up 1 pipe cleaner, and then down 2. Okay? And then the last thing I'm going to do with this little bit of yellow ribbon that's left, I'm going to make a couple of hand bows. Okay? And we're going to do about a 6-inch tail and about a 5-inch loop. Pinch your ribbon together. Ribbon down here. Twist it to make your other loop. Is it snowing? Look outside, Deb says it's snowing. Even them up. And then twist it to make your tail. And we're going to put this bow right here. Like so. We're going to do the same exact thing on the other side, I hope. No snow, just freezing. I thought we were, but we're not. There's not enough ribbon left, y'all. We're not going to do that. I tried. Since there's not enough ribbon left, what we are going to do is we'll just add this in with the blue on top of the... Let go. Yeah, I would definitely recommend getting the roses to go with this kit. Especially since they're only $1.50 each. To me, that's kind of like a no-brainer kind of thing. I'm going to cut a tail on this just for a little fluff. All right, my friends, now we're ready to put our florals on. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Now, these will just rip off. And rip apart. The way that we look at this as wreath makers is there's actually 3 picks in this one bundle. 1, 2, 3. And this gnarly long piece, because it is like, we're just going to cut that off. Like, no, thank you. We really don't need that. Yeah, you can get pretty tedious. I've done that myself, broken them up into smaller bits if need be. I'm gonna scoot those. No, I wish I had gotten some roses. I wish I had of. But I think I've got some flowers up here, y'all. I think I'm gonna show y'all where I would add the roses is if you got them. How about that? All right. So what you want to do, my friends, we're going to trim this down just a little bit. After you pull it apart, we're just going to trim this down just a little bit. Well, that's on my next order. Okay. Now, there's a pipe cleaner here. As you can see where the ribbon tails are, there's a pipe cleaner here and here. Okay, we're going to start down here. Open your pipe cleaner. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to soak the end of our floral pick with some hot glue. And the reason you want to soak this, my friends, I don't care if you use zip ties or pipe cleaners, is to make sure that your pick, because there's several little pieces in here, they stay together. And we're going to cram that way in there under the mesh, y'all. Under the mesh. Because I don't want it sticking that far out. And then I'm going to kind of separate the pick out a little bit. And then to kind of reinforce it, make sure it stays in, I'm tying about half the pick with the pipe cleaner. Okay? Make sense? And then once you do that, you kind of want to really fluff and pull this pick apart. One more time. Actually, we're going to do this total of 6 times. Cut the excess off the ends. Okay? Hot glue the snot out of this. As I said, there's little pieces in here. This is just wrapped up by paper. We want to make sure that they stay together. Okay? Make sure the family stays together. Go underneath your mesh. Who is sneezing? And we're going to really cram that in there. I don't want it that far past my ribbon. I'm going to separate my pick out about half. Half. Okay. And I'm going to wrap my pipe cleaner around about half of it. And that's just going to be the extra secure point to the pick. And, okay. Fix your ribbon and fluff your pick. All right. 5 more times, my friends. Glue the snot out of it. Actually, since hot glue looks like snot, maybe we want to glue the snot into it. Make sure you're pulling your pick pieces pretty far apart. Spread them out, fluff them up, like a so. Okay. And I actually think I'm gonna release this centerpiece just because I don't really like that it's not smooth. It's just bothering me. I'm gonna redo this real quick, my friends. Bear with me. We're just going to kind of smooth this out here. It'd have been fine if my bow thing worked out, but since my bow thing didn't work out, we're switching the plan, y'all. Much better. Now my little OCDs can calm down. Whew, stop. Order the kit. Order it. Don't forget to put the roses with it, y'all. There are yellow and blue roses in stock. They're $1.50 each. Don't forget to grab them. Okay, now I feel better. Sorry, y'all. If the bow would have worked out and everything the way that it'd have been fine, but since it didn't, we're just gonna go with the changes. Okay, back to putting our florals on. Hot glue the snot out of it. Lift your mesh up, go way underneath it. You want to push this in until these are not sticking out too far past your ribbon tails. Not too far. We don't want them sticking that far out this time. Okay. I pulled about half the pick apart, half the pick up. And I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, put it around the other half, tie it up, and then I'm going to fluff my pick out. Fix my ribbon tails at the same time. The shorter pieces on this pick, I'm pulling them more toward the center. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I'm taking them and pulling them more toward the center. Because on the pick, there are shorter pieces. See these shorter pieces? And I'm taking those and I'm pulling those and fluffing them up more toward the center. All right. Hot glue. Under your mesh And you want to push this under there until it's not sticking that far out past your ribbon. Push about half the pick up, and half the pick I'm picking up the shorter pieces, leaving the longer pieces down pretty much. Then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and tie it, and that's just for added stability and security to keep it from coming out of the wreath. And then we're going to pull everything apart, fluff it up really nicely. And we're going to do that one last time. I said I'm pulling up the shorter pieces, leaving the longer pieces down, tying my pipe cleaner around the longer pieces. And then you can cut your pipe cleaner off. I just tuck it up and out of the way. You'll never see it again anyway. Don't forget to fluff your ribbon. Don't forget to fix your ribbon after you go smashing it like we just did. Where'd my ribbon tail go? I'm missing a ribbon tail. Where'd it go? Hello? There it is. I'm missing a ribbon tail. Where did it go? Like, holy moly. There was 3 tails and not 4. All right. Now, you'll have leftovers the way that I just showed you. Check it out. All right. We got leftovers. So basically, I used 2 of the picks, so you'll have 1 left over the way that I'm showing you. Everybody loves floral leftovers, right? If you want it fuller, you can go back in and just add more florals. I like it the way it is. So I'm going to show you real quick what I would do. Oh, if I had the roses here. How about that? I do not have blue or yellow roses. Shame on me. But what I do have is some pretty white petunias. Petunias. Did I really say petunias? These are not petunias. Lord have mercy on me. Peonies. They're peonies, my friends. So when you order the kit from Lori, don't forget to get your roses. Okay? And all you really need to do, you can just get 2 of them if you want. Add 1 there. Add 1 there. You might want to get 4. The way that I showed you. Get 4. Get 4, y'all. All right. Or if you just want to get 2, these are my suggestions. You could take the blue rose and just go smack in the middle of your bows. And hot glue it in the middle of your bows. Okay? Those are my two suggestions. Me personally, I think I like the way it looks in the better in the middle of the bows. All right. Any questions, my friends? Anybody got any questions before I am out of here? Is Lori still here? Whoop. And that did use up all the ribbon on this wreath, y'all. So if I am correct, y'all get a special treat this month. As y'all know, this month is Kit Craze at Unique in the Creek. So you will get me every Saturday this month, as there are a lot of kits coming out. This Saturday, I'll show you the kit that I'm doing. Once again, this Saturday, Lori already showed y'all how to do this kit her way, but you're going to get the rendition my way of the home kit. It's almost like a wreath off. No, just kidding. We don't compete around here like that. We're all very talented designers. What are the measurements of this wreath now? It is approximately 24 to 25 inches wide, and it is about 28 inches tall. That's the measurements. All right, my friends, y'all have a great rest of your week. I will see y'all Saturday. Bye, y'all.